you can simplify the gospel as much as you want. You can always break something down, right, into the most basic form. And so, and I think there's people who are going to be saved on very simple gospel presentations that don't reference the Old Testament in any explicit way, right? So I don't have a problem with that idea, but I think when Stanley says that we don't need it to preach the gospel, it's like, well, you also don't need the New Testament to preach the gospel. You don't need the Gospels to preach the gospel. You don't need Paul to preach the gospel. You can use any words you want to, as long as you're sort of getting it more or less correct. But that is not how Jesus and Paul preach the gospel. And so the way they see the gospel, and maybe we'll get into this a little bit more, is that it's very much integrated with the Old Testament story. And so when we say that it's not important, that we don't need it, I think we're, on some level, what we're sort of saying is, well, we must have a different kind of gospel than Paul and Jesus had.